Welcome to the Talent Tank. I am your glorious host, Katie Lyons, and this is the one and only podcast where I trap my successful friends in a corner and bombard them with all the things I wonder every single day. Today we have comedian and actor Jeff Wright Now on TikTok and Instagram, and we had a wonderful conversation about comedy, life, failure, teeth. Here it is.
I'm Jeff, and I'm kind of famous. Being famous can be hard sometimes.
Oh my God, it's Jeff! Oh my God, that is you!
Who's that?
Right here.
How's your quarantine?
It's going pretty cool. I mean, indoors doing indoor activities, which is cool. I guess nerve-wracking because I want to say this is like prison, but let's be honest, it's not. It's not that deep.
I need to get the giggles out. You can't crack your knuckles and sit down and be like, I'm gonna write comedy now. You know, you can't do that. Like, can you do that, or it has to just be you, right? That's what I imagine.
To get the wheel started, like it has to be you. Like it has to be. But there's a certain level of you can write it. It's a certain discipline of that, but at the same time, it's got to be like when they say you're born with it. I think they just mean as like you're constantly thinking humorous thoughts, and then you deem if it's worthy of writing it down, and that's how it works. Like some people might be funnier than others. Some people might think something is funny, and some people not, because it's all subjective. But it's just I think the difference between entertainers or artists and people that aren't is we have the I want to say gall, I guess, but we have the gumption to go out and do whatever was in our head to do, like, or feel like. So like you'll go out and you'll do a monologue or do a play and express emotions that normal people would want to do too, but they just the level of doing it stops somewhere that it doesn't stop for us, which is cool.
The past 2 weeks have been crazy, of course. What do you do day to day now to continue just your craft and continue working and continue like keeping
So
these things
honestly,
going?
when it comes to joke writing, I gotta tighten up because I have so much time. But it's funny. One of my best friends, he said, "Man, I just need a month." Like that's how, because we're black, so we say month different. But he was like, "Bro, I just need a month." And then God was like, "Here's a pandemic. Go sit down for 2 weeks." So I blame him for this pandemic. But honestly, in this 2 weeks, it's been pretty cool. Like it gives you like all the things you said you wanted to do but don't feel like you had the time to do. Like I used to drop a video for social media like maybe 3 times a week, 4 times if I felt cool. And then honestly, I was like, why don't I drop one every day? Like what else am I doing? Like like what else? Like what else is there to do?
Just the way that you make art, it's so funny because it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's comedy, whether it's like writing, whether it's what you said, I feel like really applies. The things that I say that are gonna make my dad laugh are corny, and like the things that I say that are gonna make like my sisters laugh are something different than like the stupid things I say to make my friends laugh. It must be really hard to come up with stuff that's gonna take a room of people and make everyone relate and be able to be like, okay, like I understand that experience, or I could see why that experience is funny. So
it's a tough
hard
balance between doing you, like saying what you want to say, getting that off your chest, and at the same time knowing your audience. I feel like sometimes you got to bring them into your world, but just know that they're not from it at all. So it's like how you bring them into your world. You know what I'm saying? It's like inviting someone to your house that's not the most politest, but you try to tell them to take off their shoes, but they ain't got no socks on. It's like that kind of.
Exactly like that. Wow. And like even if I've been like the comedic relief in like a play or something, you know that feeling when you know exactly what you're about to say, and like it's really satisfying when like the audience laughs back and like,
yes.
Like yes, like they got it. But then when you say that thing and it's like that moment where they should laugh and they don't, that is a terrible feeling. How do you like get through that?
No. I've never bombed because I'm like the greatest. I don't want to say I'm the greatest, but let me stop. But yeah, no. there's definitely been times where I've told a joke and it didn't, like, even if the laughter isn't what you expect, it's like heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, just a small level of when you expect something big and you receive something small, it's like a little disappointing. But I think how I get through it is knowing that it's not, like, it is what it is. You can't change what happened, and it's my job to make it better. Like, it's my job to change. Either I said it wrong, or I could have reworded it, or it's not funny. Sometimes it's just not that funny, and you just got to be okay with it. Like, not every art that is created is gonna be taken the way the artist designed it to be, which is okay. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like that attitude is just so important to have and so humbling.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's
honestly
awesome.
don't think everything I say is the funniest, and I think or people care that much about everything I have to say, and like, honestly, I think when people accept that, it gives room to be better. Like, I don't ever want to think I'm at a place where I don't need to get better. That'd suck. You know what I'm saying?
You never want to get to the point where you're satisfied. Like, if you're ever satisfied, I feel like you're doing it wrong, and it's
Right,
fun to have that
right.
drive.
Oh wow, that's that jam. Yo, God.
What it do?
Where's Jesus? I'm trying to play one-on-one. Yo, Dad, I finished listening to these prayers. I wrote down the good ones. Jeff had a couple good ones. That's not necessary, Jesus. You don't have to read.
Nah, go ahead, read them.
Back in 2012, you asked for 3 hoes.
3 holes.
I had a garden and I had need the hose for the garden. And so you gonna lie to my dad and help you, right? I'm sorry. Then he asked for a rocket ship. Why you want a rocket ship, Jeff? So I could be a rocket man like Young Thug and Elton John.
So for your
Hmm.
sketches and stuff, like, I've noticed that you use these setups. It's like one concept, and then you like branch it out and do like all these different funny things with it. You have God and Jesus and that whole one, and then you have like all the different like
Hmm.
social medias. You have like a few of those. Do you write these all at once, or do you think of them separately, or like is it one thought and then it leads to all of that? Like, how does that even work?
So some of them are like thoughts, and the other ones are. So I don't know. It kind of centered around the idea of taking something that we all know, but that doesn't have context to it, and then adding context that could be funny. Well, at the same time, not disrespectful in a sense, because when I make a skit with God and all that stuff, I want to make, like, where anyone can laugh. Like, if you like God, you can laugh. If you don't believe in God, you can laugh. Like, there's still humor in everything, and that's like, not to say God is a character, but it's like something we all know. Like the character, like the if it was a
Yeah,
character, we all know.
for
Or if I
sure.
took like social media apps, like, those are all things that we all know, and just give it context. So that's where it came from. But the God skit, honestly, I was in the kitchen with my brother, and I was like, yo, it'd be hilarious if if God didn't even send Jesus to do all that stuff. Like, he was just doing all this extra stuff, and God was like, why'd you do all that? And then and my brother looked at me and he was like, ooh. I said, what's wrong with that? He said, hey man, I don't know about that one. I said, it's not funny. He said, it's funny, but I don't know if the world's gonna think like that's not messed up. And I was like, man, I'm about to do this.
There's this Stephen King quote that kind of reminds me of something that you said. Somebody asked him if he
Mhm.
keeps journals, and he's like, no, good ideas will stick to you like gum on your shoe, and like it's like a pearl. Like, you just have it in the back of your mind, and like you go to bed and like you just think about it a little bit, and you think about it a little bit, and like the good things will come out in the end if you
Damn.
just
I
keep them
like
there. It makes
Yeah,
sense.
not for the most part. If it's a lot of dialogue, I'll try to write it down, because like because especially if it's something funny or important, like, I don't want to forget that line, because I want to see those lines in the comments, and I
Oh
want to
yeah,
see
yeah.
like, oh, okay, no, that really resonated like I thought it would. So that's cool. But if it's something mad quick and easy, I'm like, I'm just gonna do it, like, and it's gonna take 3 seconds, and I'm gonna edit it, and then let's see what the world thinks about it. And for some reason, some of them think that I guess I got a good following that think that I'm funny.
I feel like whenever I see a comedian who really makes me laugh for real, it's because they notice like these little things that are just true kind of for everybody, but we don't really ever think about it or say
Yeah.
it out loud. And you definitely did that too. Like, you made some joke about brushing your teeth or something the first time I saw you. It was amazing.
Yeah, everyone listening to this is gonna think I'm so bad. They're like, he made a joke about brushing your teeth. Wow, that's his level of comedy. Ew.
Brushing your teeth and make
Yeah.
You're doing something that is of an immense value. Like, you never know who you're gonna make laugh that night, and that's the
Right.
best medicine in the world.
And that's the cool thing, because it might not necessarily start out like that, but the fact that it means so much to different people and there's so many people in this world. Like, good can mean bad to people, and good can mean good to people. So it's just like on you to have the gumption to do it. But like, I love how just art in itself can be so satisfying, and it'll be like, damn, this is just what I needed. So like that is so cool.
Yes,
What's
and
up?
you know what, Jess? You are just what I needed today, because that was an amazing conversation, and I appreciate you so much for talking to me about yourself and about your work and your funnies
You're
today.
making me
Thank
blush.
you so
Come
much.
on, now I'm just a regular guy in a regular house with a regular shirt on. Come on.